Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me on a Sunday. So I gave you a video yesterday showing you all my swaps from my Alaska trip, and I promised a video today, and that includes all of the gifts that I got from Stampin' Up and extra gifts. And yes, Berry is here still. I'm still wearing my plaster. I explained it in yesterday's video. She will not shift, and I've got to get this done because the house is quiet right now. So let me start. So I had this from my lovely, oh don't headbutt the tripod, my lovely upline Michelle sent me a gift, and it arrived in the post the day before I came. It got delayed. I could tell from the postmark that it should have been with me beforehand. But I'd already got all my luggage and stuff done. So, but in here is, oh yes, you can look, have the bag, Berry. Go on, there you go. Let's go and play with that. So from Aspinalls of London, these beautiful luggage tags that have got my initials on them. And I confused everybody on the trip, and I'll show you that, but they've got SHD, Sam Hammond Donald. And yeah, I confused everybody on the trip because my given name that is on my passport is Samantha Donald with my middle initials as well, or my full name. And so my lanyard, because we all wore lanyards, mine is in the bag that I'm going to show you, had Samantha Hammond on it. But I work as a demonstrator under Sam Hammond, which is my maiden name, and loads of you know me on social media and on my blog as Sam Hammond Donald, so I confused everybody because it said Samantha Donald. People were like, who's that? Anyway, so I had that from Michelle, and actually I don't obviously have the gifts that I gave to my team who came, but I had bags, beautiful tote bags personalised for them with as much floral decoration that was similar to Stampin' Up's as I could. Yes, Berry, you're very pretty. And then some beautiful notebooks as well. I had them personalised for them. And then I found them some chocolates with their initials on. Obviously, I can't show them to you. Yes, look. Oh, she's butting the tripod. Right, so I'm going to go through all the goodies we got. We got a gift. We have pillow gifts from Stampin' Up. As well as the incentive trip paid for by them in full. They give us gifts on our pillows every night. And so they are going to be out of order just because I'm taking them from the floor. Well, they're in a bag on the floor, but this was one of them. So this was Saturday night, and there was some Designer Series Day paper as well. So it says, cute logo paper, all is bright Designer Series paper, empty your old purse as soon as possible. And it's huge, this bag, but it's got this beautiful floral detailing, which is our corporate pattern at the moment. And I do obviously have my cabin bag that I got from Stampin' Up last year. So Stampin' Up on it, and if I show you this side, you can see the flower pattern a bit better. It was lovely, and there was this kitten. There was some Designer Series paper in there as well. And so every night we had a gift, and they were all dated and labelled, and then, you know, cabin numbers and what have you. So name Sam Hammond. Oh look, they got they got my name right there. Oh, for goodness sake. So we had that one night, and then another night we had Fleece Jackets, all beautifully folded up. Now the ladies had pale grey ones, and you could buy an extra one for men that was in dark grey, and actually I preferred the dark grey, so I asked if I could swap. And so it's got Stampin' Up on the back, that's on the collar, and then somewhere else, so quite discreetly, oh no, don't, oh, there is something else somewhere, and I don't remember where. Oh, there we go. So on the sleeves, and actually when you put your hands in, it's got kitten. When you put your arms down the sleeves, you've got little thumb holes. Let's move this off, it's adjusting the light. And so you kind of have your hands through like that. And so, but lovely. So yeah, I asked if I could swap mine for a men's one, and they said yes. If I put this over here, Berry, will you go and play with it there? So we had that another night, and there was always product gift as well. The night before we went to sail to the glacier, this was on our bed. This was on our bed. So if I just move it so you can see the detailing, and I'm hoping you can, it's beautifully patterned, this huge blanket with Stampin' Up stitched onto it. Absolutely enormous. That was perfect because it was freezing when we were sailing by the glacier. We had lots and lots of papers given to us. So these are 3 of the new Design Series papers, and I think this was the one that I had in the bag. Oh, Berry, go and steal a pencil or something. Look, there's a brush here. Here, have this brush. Go play with the brush. That's it. Don't take it away. That's it. Off you go. No, take it that way. So this is one of the new designer series papers, which it's crinkled here, but it's been left smooth there. So it's foiled paper, and this one is Joyous Noel. So it's a lovely speciality paper. This one is Festive Farmhouse. Really love this one. And this one is The All Is Bright. So that was the one that came in my bag. And actually it was a little bit curled, but it has flattened out now. So we have that. Oh, what else have I got here? Bags full of goodies. We had, every day you could go to a place called Base Camp. And it's sort of like a gathering place. It's, you know, in the past it's been called the Hospitality Suite. But it's where you can go and meet with other demonstrators. It's where you know that there will be somebody from the corporate team there. And you get to play Spin the Wheel every day for prizes, and so each day it's a theme. So it's paper one day and it was ribbon another day, and one particular day it was rhinestones or pearls, so I was very pleased to get myself some rhinestones. We've got, and those are current catalogues, so you can get those now, and I was pleased to get those because I did my card for Luke's 13th birthday the other day. I used up a big wodge of them. This was from General Session, so there was a General Session where we were introduced to the catalogue and all the new goodies and stuff, and we were all given this. So this is Memories and More cards, so very pleased. There are two sizes there as well by the looks of things. Yeah, two sizes, so that's a small card with a little envelope just tucking behind, and then a bigger one with envelopes. Obviously the corporate team are on the trip, including Shelley Gardner, who is the co-founder and board chair of Stampin' Up, and I was chatting to her one day and she said, oh, what are you going to do this afternoon, because we were at sea, and I said, well, normally I'd be you know, sitting and sketching or writing, but actually typically I haven't remembered a notebook this time, so she very kindly gave me her notebook. How sweet is that? So very pleased. Trip stuff. This was a pillow gift, corrugated dynamic textured impressions embossing folder. So it will create corrugated images. Love that. And every night our gifts came in these lovely bags, unless, you know, like the really big gifts like the clothing. But all logoed bags, all with the same red ribbon. So this was, oh, there's a punch to go with this one then, yeah. So Making Spirits Bright, photopolymer stamp set, and the light bulb, and it says design the greatest gift ever. So a lovely stamp set, and then the punch, which I'll come to shortly, to match this, that will punch out the light bulbs and the little end bit. But yeah, beautiful. I'm going to keep all these bags. I keep everything every single year and then I don't do anything with it. This was a Spin the Wheel gift, Regal's DSP. I'm very happy about that. What else have I got down here? I've got Tea Room Memories and More card pack. Now, as you know, I've been doing an awful lot of tea room stuff recently, and Oliver has taken a shine to my Memories and More. So when we did the Spin the Wheel, I was pleased to get this one because, yeah, he's used up all mine. What have I got here? Stamping logo speakers. Oh, I'm going to have to come back with now. Right? This was the last, I think it was. And real red mixed satin ribbon. So I'm going to show you the speaker in a second. And see, I didn't even open this. This was on my pillow as I sprinted to my room to pack, and it was there early. Because when you're on a cruise, you have to have your luggage outside your door by 10 o'clock at night so they can get it off the ship for you. And so I opened that and had a look, but I didn't open this, so let's do it together. Again, little bag. I think this might be a new ribbon, but I might be wrong. Is it a new ribbon or a current ribbon? No, we've got this one, so this is a current ribbon. Oh, stitched satin ribbon. Did I read that out right? Mixed satin ribbon. It should be stitched satin ribbon. So I've got that, and then this is so cool, and it's a Bluetooth speaker that has been logoed for us. So it says Stampin' Up on the top, it's actually on the side, so that's the bottom, and all your detail there, but Stampin' Up on the speaker part. Oh, awesome, it's so heavy. I'm sure they were trying to get me to bust my allowance. My weight allowance on the ship. We also had this, so before the trip they send you all your lanyards and things. No, still can't see my lanyard. And it's a cruising adventure book, so you know what's going on every single day, where to go. So you know, this is the first day, welcome reception, and then what time base camp's open and so on. And there's little facts as well, so something on every day, and then all sorts of information and quotes and things as well. So absolutely brilliant, freestanding. And actually we've got 2 copies because Mum and Dad were in a separate cabin to me, so I had a copy done for them. What else have I got down here? I've got another bag here. So stylish logo jacket and swirls and curls, textured impressions embossing folder. So Friday was the first night. Yes, it was the first night. So they gave us the jacket straight away. And this is in one of the new embossing folders. Love it. This was Spin the Wheel. Now I'm going to have to show you this because you're all going to go bonkers for it. And if you're anything like me, you're going to buy reels and reels and reels of it. So it's one of the new sweets. One of the Christmas sweets is Merry Merlot and Copper. And I don't know how well you're going to see that, but it's Merry Merlot one side and then Merry Merlot with the gold, the copper the other side. And it's sort of a colour change. Absolutely beautiful. So when they spun the wheel and it landed on a different colour, I really like the Merry Merlot one, and then let me spin it again. Right, what else? I've got more goodies down here. Oh, here's my lanyard. So, yeah, so this came in my pack, and it said Samantha Donald, and I said, is there any chance of changing it to Sam Hammond Donald? But it was too late, unfortunately. But yeah, so you wear these all the time on the trips. So, because there were 400 demonstrators there, and when you include guests and extra guests, there were over 1,000 people representing Stamping Up, and so you can't possibly know everybody, so you wear the lanyards all the time and on the trips. And so if you see somebody, you can, you know, approach them and say, hi, how are you, what are you thinking of the trip, or what have you, and it's a great identifier. But my parents were brilliant about it because they wore those the whole time, and even to the point where apparently one evening they forgot to put them on and Mum sent Dad back to their cabin. I've got these. So lovely Kylie Bertucci is an Australian demonstrator, and she has varying things that she does for lots of demonstrators. And she gave me this card because I'm part of her tutorial bundle for the next 6 months. So that is me with 11 other people. So there's 12 of us in total, have all done tutorials that you can, on my website, if you are in our 5 European countries, if you place an order over £40 or €50, I will send you the bundle for free. Or if you're overseas, you can actually subscribe to it or buy that month's bundles. So do have a look on my blog and you'll find information. And she said, she gave me a card to say thank you for being part of it. And then these, I thought they were cufflinks at first, and then realised that they're not actually, they're earrings. How pretty are those? So, yes, all of us who are part of the bundle, I think, were on the trip. And so she had something like that for all of us, which was so sweet. More goodies down here. Oh, there's one of my pairs of missing scissors. So look, I've got 3 bags here. I don't remember which night this was from, but this is... Oh, there's a window cleaner outside my window on my neighbour's house. What are these? All is Bright paper clips. So, oh yes, I know these ones. So this is stars and Christmas trees. Very sweet. So that's part of a suite. Here's the pack. So this is what my lanyard and my luggage tags. I'm going to find one. We had one set to go on the way out and then one to come back, and I don't know if I've got both of them here. But these were all in our pack, so I had 3 of them because I brought Mum and Dad with me. Oh, there we go. So that's, there we go. That's my on the way in. And that's the one on the way out, so slightly different. And like I say, we had 3 of those, and it came in here. Alaska Stampin' Up 2018. We always get stuff that is specific to that trip, so we get all sorts of amazing stuff every trip. What's this one? Awesome scratch off map. Oh, I've got that under my other desk and I can't get to it. But it's a great big world map, and you scratch off the places you've been. And then the Dashing Deer clear mount stamp set. How lush is that? With the matching thinlets, which is brilliant. So that's Thursday night. Do you know what? Was that the last night? Maybe that was the last night. I don't. Yes, that was the last night. It was the logo speakers was a different day. I'm rummaging around. So I've got. So this is lovely Sophie Prestrel in my team, is a French demonstrator, and she's in my team as well. Earned her first trip, and she bought this because she knows I love mugs. And, you know, isn't that just exactly how you think everybody is in Paris? But I love it. And then she also gave me her swap. So I didn't swap with her, but she gave me one of her swaps. She'd made extras. So in here, I believe a little chocolate. And just, I don't want to wreck it getting into it, but I'm going to. Berry's quite happy on the floor. She's playing with, she's got a pencil underneath a postage bag. So I've got her card. So I think she did 3D and card swaps. So I've got her 3D and her card swap. Just love it. How cute is that bulldog? And then this is what she gave everybody who requested a catalogue when the annual catalogue went live. So she gave them a bookmark with all of the new colours. And then she made all of these as well, and she made extras. And she says that I have to learn all of the names in French, please. I'm not doing very well given that I've been back off the trip for 2 weeks and this is the first time I've looked at them, so I will do my best, Sophie. So she gave me that so I could learn them all in French. Thank goodness she speaks perfect English. And Spanish, as it happens. What else have I got in here? So in base camp, every day you go down there and there's always loads of sweets and treats and things. And I can't get Hershey nuggets in the UK unless I want to pay absolute premium fortune for them. And so I might well have helped myself to some every day. So I can put them in videos. So I've got some Hershey nuggets there. What else have I got? One of my missing pairs of scissors. Ended up in my bag. Oh, there's my passport. I wondered where that had gone. Oh gosh, what else have I got? Loads. Right, so that is attached to this one. So Merry Christmas to all, photopolymer stamp set and thinlets. That was Sunday night. And oh yes, I'm so excited about this one. This beautiful fonts, you can make up your own words. And then the thinlets, and I'm going to get into these now so you can see them. Merry Christmas thinlets dies are words as well, and obviously you've seen them the wrong way round, but they are big words, and I'm so happy. I squeaked when I saw them in the catalogue, and then squealed when I got them as my gift. Pop those in there. This, oh, where's the fan to go with this? Here it is. So on one of the trips, we took the White Pass train, which was the one that was the railroad line, the railway line, as us Brits would call it, a railway line, was created for those who were in the gold rush. And they created it very, very quickly, this railroad, and it's now a tourist attraction. So I went on it and was chatting to, you know, the people on the trip in our cabin. You couldn't move from one cabin to the next on the train. And there were some people on there who weren't demonstrators and some who were. And there was a lovely lady who I talked about yesterday. I got one of her swaps. She was there. She's an American demonstrator, but is from Japan. And when we opened in Japan, you could, if you knew somebody in Japan, you could recruit them into your team. So she had two ladies with her on the trip as her guests, but actually happened to be Japanese demonstrators. Gosh, that was complicated because Japan isn't global with us yet. They become global on the 1st of October. And they gave me as gifts these because one of the ladies was very excited, and as I said before about not being easily identified as Samantha Donald as opposed to Sam Hammond or Sam Hammond Donald, she'd said to me, there were only 2 people on the trip I wanted to meet and you were one of them, which just made my day. I mean, how humbling was that? And so there's a beautiful fan, and I keep opening it wrong. There we go. Beautiful fan. And that was inside this package with this. And then an origami treat there, and then a pen. And what she's done is she's wrapped in the barrel, or wrapped paper round the barrel and popped it all back inside. And she opened some up and hand stamped them. And she didn't have any left that had the hand stamping on them. But can you recognise this? It's the Tropical Chic. And she's given instructions on how to stamp it. So I will do that I will stamp it very carefully and very delicately. But we had a really, really, really good trip. Look at that, it says do not over ink. Blender pens or Stampin' white markers. Just gorgeous. So I should do that. Yeah, they were lovely. It was a lovely trip. Do you know what? Every excursion we did was amazing. We did 3. We did Juneau and went whale watching, and yes, we saw whales. Orcas and humpback, and we saw sea lions and seals and all sorts. And I've still got more goodies in here. I'm trying to pick out the things that are relevant. I bring these out. I'll bring them all out and then I'll explain them all to you. And you get a sea pass, so this is what you use as currency on the ship basically, and it tells you what your room number is. So I was 12th deck, so I was actually 1882 on the 12th deck, and they changed my dining. So I was originally, we were set to eat at 5:30, and I said, oh, that's far too early, so they moved us to 8 and gave us a table. This was, I don't remember if this was an all attendee giveaway at general session. This was from, and it was a lady on the very last day gave this to me, Candy Michael, and I want to undo it because, let me see if I can get this undone, because I actually don't know what it is. It looks like it's one of those party streamer thrower thingies, but it might not be. I'm not sure what it is. It is one of those. Oh no, it's not, it's a flag. Oh, it's a flag. I thought it was one of those things that if you were a child of the 70s or 80s, you flicked them and they shot out and came back in again, but it's a flag. How cute is that? That's why it says I love America. I'll come to that one in a minute. This was the punch that I said went with that stamp set, so it's light bulbs, but we've also suggested, in my team, they've suggested Father Christmas's footprints. I thought it was cool. This was a spin the wheel as well, and I was very pleased to get this. Now, I don't particularly do Halloween at all, and there were bats, because we've got a bat punch coming, or this one, and I was very happy to get that. And then this was a gift to everybody at general session, and this is called the Take Your Pick, and it's the coolest tool in the world. And so on one end you've got a little dabber that's got some putty in it. I don't know if you can see that, I haven't got autofocus on, and it means that you can pick up small things. I'm looking to see if I've got any sequins handy. So what you do, or what you can do, is pick up things with it. So it's a little picker-upper thingy, but obviously it's got putty and that will eventually run out, and actually mine is squodging out. So I've got a replacement, but it comes with replacements. That's one end. The other end is a little spatula, so you could use it for your, well, I probably would use it for picking up embellishments. Whoops. So you'd use it for picking up embellishments and placing them. But actually, here's where it gets really clever, because you can pull this end out, unlock that way, and turn it round, and you've got a paper piercing tool in the other end, or you can take it out completely and you've got a double-ended stylus, and you can have a thin end or swap it round and have the thick end. So obviously those parts, ow, that's sharp, those parts don't need replacing, because you wouldn't lose them, but the putty does. So we're going to have refills, or we have got refills in the new winter catalogue, but they supplied us with one as well, which is really cool. I think that is just a blooming genius. I haven't got that lid on properly. How cool and clever is that? So very excited to get that, and really, really cheap as well. I don't know what kind of price I put on it, but about 3 times what it actually is. And then finally, I wanted to show you this. Now, Mum and Dad and I flew in a couple of days early to spend some time in Seattle, and my dad, when he retired out of the police force as an active officer, actually went and worked for a police consortium, and his job took him to Seattle on 2 or 3 occasions, and actually he was in Seattle working when Chris and I got engaged. And So knowing that we were setting sail from Seattle, he was really happy about that. And he took me on a tour, me and Mum and Dad. He showed us around rather than the rest of the time it was me showing my parents. And it was amazing. And we went to, obviously Space Needle. We went to the fish market, Pike Market, and they saw them throwing fish. And we also went to Space Needles and the Chihuly Gardens. And in there, Mum spotted this and she bought it for me because she knows I love fairy lights, and I think she'd like me to make a project. And I think it needs a battery, but it's teeny tiny little twinkle lights that you would put in the top of a wine bottle because it's a stopper. And yes, it does need a battery. And I just thought that was so sweet. So we were on this trip and Mum and Dad bought me a little gift, which was lovely. And then, what's this? Oh, this is from my... Oh, so the day I got the paper clips, I got the Snuggly logo blanket. I've got... So who's this from? Ah, this is from lovely Patty Bennett. Now, Patty Bennett is a really great friend of mine. And we were talking about white chocolate one day. And I'd said that I was, you know, having this amazing white chocolate. And I promised to bring her some out. And she brought me, as a trade, 2 bags of Jolly Rancher candy for my children. I've given them one bag. This one is now residing on my desk. And so I've got a lovely card from her. And we spent some time one day when we were on a cruising day colouring with blends. And so she was there with, and then one of her team there, Melissa, was there. And another lady called Tammy was there as well. Both first-time trip achievers. Really great to spend time with them. And one of the corporate team came down. And we just played with blends. And she'd already pre-stamped loads of cards. So I didn't have to do any stamping. I was just colouring and I was just chatting with her. And inadvertently did myself a rainbow of red, yellow, green and blue. And then finally... oh, that's my luggage, my room tag for my stateroom. On all of our bedroom doors, or all of our cabin doors, I should say, or staterooms, I think they're called, we had these magnetic plates. Magnetic, I don't know what you'd call it, placard? Yes, so they've got magnets on them and they went on the door. And they actually worked as an identifier for the cabin stewards who came and put the pillow gifts every night. I actually took mine off straight away because when I arrived at my room, mine was missing, unfortunately. And I know another demonstrator, hers had been on her room door when she went in her room, and when she came out, it had gone. So we all whipped them off. So mine actually lived in my room for the week, but it says Stampin' Up 2018. Mum and Dad didn't have one because obviously they weren't achievers, they were my guests. But on the very last night I said, is there any chance that you might have a spare? And they did, and so my dad has now got one that he has got in his garage. And so it was really nice. So that is going to go on my office door, along with my one from Thailand. Didn't have one on a Mediterranean cruise that I can remember, nor in Madeira, which was my first trip. But I now have these 2. So, oh my goodness, that's nearly half an hour. Oh, good grief. Well, I hope it's kept you company on a Sunday afternoon. That's it really for my bag. I've kept my bits and pieces. So this was the White Pass journey and where we went, and you know, talking about all of this when it started and when it was completed. So in 2 years they completed it, 20 miles. And yeah, it was as spectacular as that. So all my gorgeous goodies that I got, and I'm really, really pleased. So I love earning trips. I've earned Greece, and the next trip, wait for it, 2020, you can start earning it on the 1st of October, is to Maui in Hawaii on a land-based trip. So if you're a demonstrator, get working hard. If you're not yet a demonstrator, come join my team, come talk to me. We'll get you on that trip too. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon. Bye.